Hello, everyone. I am Sonia Nadina Haynes. This is my first time running a show on the Psychic Coffee Shop. I think I'm doing it solo, so please bear with me if I get my feet a little tangled and my tongue all mixed up. I'm Sonia Nadina Haynes, and I've been called Oracle by many people whom I've met over the years. Uh, I've had a very varied life. I was born in the Caribbean, and I grew up in New York City, traveled quite extensively, and it was during a crisis in my life that uh, I realized the potential of what it is I'm doing now, meaning that I am an intuitive psychic. I think that's the all overall word for me. And going deeper than that, I'm a shaman, so I have the ability to help you to heal whatever you're dealing with emotionally and physically. So when we talk over the show, you are going through a healing, even as I'm speaking to you now. I am part, and again, this is my very first group that I've come in touch with because I've been a lone traveler along this path for the past 20 years. And I'm now part of psychic.biz, which is a platform on the internet where you can come in, get a reading for, meter out your reading, basically. You can put $15 in, and if you use, there are a few things here that I'm told. If you use a few little notes, you'll be able to get Summer 16, because we're now in summer. Summer 16, you'll get $5 free. And I think if you say coffee or write coffee, you'll get $10. I'm not sure how that works, but you can always check into Psychic Biz to find out. Today's show, I'm gonna touch a little bit on some of the things that are happening on the planet. I'd like to I'll open the phone lines to take some calls, and I'm quite excited about. I connect with your spirit. I connect with your guides. I connect with your loved ones if they're gone, and usually they will show up and they'll either give me a hot flash or a little chill, or my brain will go funny. In a book, it was called Cat Scratching at Your Head. What's it called? Cat Scratching at Your Brain. So you feel as if there's someone scratching at your brain, or your hair is growing on the inside. That's how you know when your loved ones have come around, or the hairs on your body will stand up because they've brushed close to you. When I was growing up, we grew up around spirit. It was a natural thing. We'd be I've told this story many times, but we'd been walking a lot down the street, and all of a sudden we'll feel a bit of a warmth behind us. And in Jamaica, they say, well, ghosts don't go through people like you see in the movies here. They don't like to do that, so they go around you. And so, the bushes or the shrubs along the side of the road would move, and that's how we'll know. My grandmother would turn around if she was with us, and she'd address the spirit and, how are you doing, and see you later, that sort of thing. So she would talk like that. So it's a natural thing for me. And there are a lot of people who are afraid of the unseen world, and they tend to be afraid of it primarily because there's no understanding of it, or you were taught to be afraid. But let's put it this way. Would you be afraid of your own spirit? I guess there are a lot of people who are afraid of their own spirit. Would you be afraid of your own power? You are an amazing, magnificent, omnipotent being. You are beyond this limited body, as the First Nations call it, the bag of skin and bones. I love that, the bag of skin and bones. You are beyond that. You are more expansive than the limited space that holds you together with your fear. Fear is kind of like, if you consider yourself as a galaxy, consider yourself as a galaxy, and there are millions of lights, the planets and suns and moons spiraling around in our galaxy. And in the center is the black hole. And what scientists have just found out is that the center of the black hole, nothing exists there. It actually gobbles up light. And your fear, which is very interesting, your fear is that black hole, which is the center of the galaxy, which is you. So think about it. Your fear is the center of the galaxy. And if the black hole did not exist in our galaxy, all the planets would be flung to the far reaches of the universe. So it's the black hole within the center of the galaxy that's actually holding us together and keeping us in orbit with each other. Isn't that beautiful? So if you can consider that the things that you fear the most, you fear your power, you fear, being seen as too big for your britches, or you fear being seen too weak, or all those fears that you carry. If you can consider that all those fears are the things that are holding you in this physical body, it holds you here. And as it holds you here, you forget to fly. Because you were a being that flew. You had the ability to fly. You could turn into water. You could be the wind. And if you don't, think about it. When you were a child and the wind blew around you, you would spread your arms out and run just to be the wind, right? Or many of you would have had flying dreams. How brilliant is that? How beautiful is that? So as we're going along, just be aware that, many of us have the ability to fly. We have the ability to breathe underwater. We do, because we were babies in our mommy's womb. When we breathed in, kept that fluid through our system. But the fear that we carry of how amazing and omnipotent and brilliant we are, that fear is actually keeping all that light that is within us floating around us. And what we need to do is to start focusing on the light, on the power, on the amazing person that you are. Start bringing that in. Start pulling that into you. Start opening yourself to your beauty. Do you know that... Again, before I continue, I'm a great observer of life. I've been that way since I was little. I remember asking a million questions. Like, I asked my poor dad so many questions. It was Father's Day just the other day, and all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. But, I would ask my dad, Daddy, what's that rainbow? Why is the rainbow curved like that? After I found out that it's called a rainbow. I'd ask my daddy, why is the wind like that? I'd imagine the wind with eyes and nose and mouth and so on. So as I'm experiencing all of life, I'm curious about it. Then I became curious about people. So in that curiosity, I wanted to understand why people do the things that they do. We've had a very traumatic time on the planet this last while. A lot of tears were shed. Actually, it's been happening for about close to 10 years. It's been hard going from one place, one country to the next. It's been a really heavy-duty, challenging time on the planet. And we've been working our way through. We've been fighting hard. We've been trying to get to where we need to go. And what's real? Okay, so there's someone waving at me on the okay. So what we need to recognize is that there's, with so much stuff going on around us, and we're feeling so helpless, we're feeling so hopeless. I had a conversation with a guy today who was talking about doing all the conspiracy theory stuff. And he thinks we're all being controlled. But Are you being controlled? You've forgotten how amazing you are. You've forgotten how magnificent you are. And if you forget that, then you will actually lean on whatever is out there that's going to make some form of logical sense to you. You know? Can you see it? The vine, we've all become like vines, leaning against each other, leaning on the system, leaning on our governments, us waiting for them, or our physicians, waiting for them to guide us to where we need to go. And all we have to do, if you look in some of those countries down in Thailand and those places where the vines figured out how to grow really huge trunks, like their bases are so strong that they're growing straight up, solid. They're no longer leaning over, or they wind around the tree so well that they're solid going up that tree. Isn't that brilliant? So all you have to do is disconnect from the fear. Let go of the fear. Let go of the view of the fear. Let go of what people are trying to sell you. Because they have to sell something. Everybody's trying to sell something these days. They have to sell something. And while they're trying to sell us on be afraid of this and don't like that and you don't like those people and so on, while we're being taught to do all these things, why not take the time and just stop for a moment and say, okay, why am I afraid? What's going on? What is it within this situation that makes me afraid? And that's what I did throughout my whole life, since I was a child all the way to my adult to this moment. Every time I had an emotion that made me feel uncomfortable, I would ask myself, why am I feeling this way? What is so important in that experience that's causing me to feel this way? Now, it's it's a very interesting thing because, as I was saying, there's been so much hurt and pain and fear and negativity happening on the planet, and we've all been caught up in it. We've all been caught up in seeing someone else as not good enough. And I tell you, I've met a lot of people who were labeled all sorts of things. Positive, negative, all those things. But what I've learned is that when I look that individual in the eyes, just look in their eyes and connect with that person. Because when you look, we have a hard time looking each other in the eyes. When I looked each person in the eyes and I stood my ground, because you will find that when you stand your ground and look a person in the eyes, your fear will go away. And I found that there was a common ground. And I was able to help them to heal. That is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. As I've traveled through my life, as I've connected with my journey, I've been able to hear, connect, feel, know that as I see myself as an important aspect of this universe, this galaxy that I exist within, I have the power to see others in that way. And when I do that, I diminish the fear and the anger that others carry, whether it be towards me or towards themselves or towards anyone else. I'm Sonia Nadina Haynes, and this is the Psychic Coffee Shop. I love it. I actually love coffee. I love my lattes and stuff. I'm going to open the phone line for a moment, and we're going to have a little chat. I think I need to stop at the 30-minute range, but we'll play it by ear. It'll probably come on while I'm chatting, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so my first call is 916. Hello.
Hi, Sonia. Congratulations on your beautiful show.
Thank you, love. Who are you? What is your name?
My name is Wendy from Sacramento, California.
Hi, Wendy. Oh, you guys are having some fires over there.
I know, and the heat is over 100 degrees.
Yes. Do you know why? The soil is hot. And I've been telling people that for the last how many years. The magma in the earth is coming up, and the soil is hot. So it's going to just get hotter and hotter, unfortunately. Well, what can I do for you today, sweetie?
Well, I would love it if you can tell me. I've been applying, upgraded my resume, very professional. My background is call center, customer service for medical insurance and also some financial. I applied at Schools Financial Credit Union, and I also applied at Tri-West through a temp agency, very nice gentleman, and I emailed him. He hasn't responded to me, but those are, and also Kaiser Permanente. Do you see me getting a new job soon and hopefully keeping it?
Okay, I do see you getting a new job soon, but you have to think outside the box. That's the, you have to think outside the box. So the companies that as you're talking, I don't know what other way you can actually utilize those skills you have that is different from the financial company that you're going into. But there is a job. It's in the newspaper. It's a big newspaper, so I don't know. It's kind of like the Vancouver Sun, you know, those large ones that you fold them out and such. And so this job is in this paper, and it's large. And you're going to look at the job and think that you can't do all of it. But I'm going to ask you, I think you've already looked at it and you put it aside. No, I can't do that. But there, you have the ability to do the job. And a lot of the what do you call it? A lot of what they're asking for, you have the technical skills, but you have that something that it's almost like you're going to play the role of an advisor. Does that make sense? It's different from the companies that you're going into. I'm going to suggest that you go back to if you still have the Sunday paper, go back to the Sunday paper. There's a large ad. It's on the right-hand side. I'm looking at it. It's on the right-hand side of the paper, and it's a little bit different from what you've been trying to get. You have to think differently. How best can my skills go? Which, you know what I mean? And when you get the job, you will be there for a long time. So the jobs you applied for now may not continue, but the one that you will get which is a little bit different, it's going to be amazing. You're going to do incredibly well with it.
Okay, and that'll be in Sacramento, correct?
Yes. I don't see you moving, at least not yet. You may move with the company. Now, do you have human resources skills? Do you have anything in human resources?
No, I've never done that.
But you could, right? Because
if I don't, as long as they don't require that I have special training in it, if they would train me, sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not a matter of you having to go to school for it. You already have the skill, and the background that you have in the financial supporting of others is going to be like a huge part. That's going to be the ticket to this job. So I'm going to suggest you look into something that is connected to human resources. It's a very large they're using the word corporation, so whatever that is for you, but it's a large company that you will end up in where you will be working alongside an HR or something to that effect. I don't see you doing online phone, and people phone you and you answer them over the phone like that. I see you interfacing face-to-face with individuals. So the job that you're going for, the Kaiser company, is not a good direction for you. And it's not a good direction for you because I think they're going through some restructuring. And if you wait and see, within about 2 months, you'll see you'll hear about the restructuring that they're going through. The guy who never called you back, he's just busy. So he will call you back, but by the time he calls you back, you will have anchored into this new job. So what I'm going to suggest you do, I'm back on the show next week, and what I'm going to suggest you do is go through the paper and make make your application, but tell me, give me a list of the jobs that you see there, and I'll tell you which one it is, because I can see it's a very large ad, like a good 1/8 of a large size newspaper. So and like I said, this job will take you into your future because they're gonna really love you.
Oh, that's what I need. I just need to be treated with respect and courtesy, and I'll be very loyal and be professional. I don't buy the paper. What I do is I get emails from Indeed.com, Monster, Career Builder, places like that.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest you open the newspaper. Sorry, but I'm seeing it in the new. It may be in the career.com, but they will send you jobs based on what the criteria or the criterion is that you've asked for. So exactly. I'm going to suggest that you don't have to buy the paper. Go to Starbucks and open the newspaper and look at it. Do you know what I mean? But because there is a job.
That's a great idea. That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it. Go to Starbucks. Go get yourself a latte drink. And just look. Coffee. It's on the right-hand side of the paper towards the center margin. There's a very large ad. And, you know, like I said, you would not have gotten the information about that particular ad because it's not on that list that you have to fill out for them to send you jobs. So it's a little bit different. You know, do you understand? Yeah.
I
go
think
on.
So. And I can go online to the Sacramento Bee, and
there you go.
And and careers section, and see if I can locate it that way.
Yes, and look for human resource. If you're going to see the words human resources, just pull it off. Get your resume together, and hopefully you don't have on your resume about being treated with respect. If you do, take it off. Because when you walk in with your back straight, then you will always gain respect. But the individual that you work with will value you quite a bit. You've just been looking in the wrong place. So, and I'm going to say that by the time you get to the middle of July, which is only about 2 or 3 weeks from now, you will have your first interview. Yeah, you'll have your first interview, and you could be working by August 1st. And I'm saying could, but I feel it's a definite.
You feel that it's what? I'm sorry?
A definite.
Oh.
You know, it's that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. What kind of industry is this company? Is it healthcare or is it more financial?
It feels very much. Yeah, it feels very much. It feels very much like a kind of like an Anthony Robbins education sort of a thing. You know, it feels that, but it's not Anthony Robbins. It's a large company. And you know what? When I'm done with the show, I'm going to go online and look because I can see the advertising. So
oh my goodness.
It's something outside of the box. It's outside of what, and you're going to love it because it's got a bit of traveling in there for you. I don't know whether it's just driving to work, but they're showing me a bit of traveling in there for you. So it's going to be really quite a pleasant. I can see you just being at peace and at ease when you get up in the morning, when you get ready for work. It's effortless, you know. So that's what you keep within yourself, and that's. But it's different. The industry is different from where you're looking. So, and because you've put specifics in about what you want from these websites that send you these jobs, you're not getting the right information. So it's important that you go and you check that out. Okay?
I will try, but that's nice of you that you're going to try to look for it after the show. I wish somehow I could hear from you.
It's a strange thing. Yeah, when I see something, I go to get the confirmation. So that's just all it is. But I can see the job, and it will, like I said, it's different from what you've been looking for. different type of industry, and it's kind of interesting because the company, the individuals in the company are going to really be bowled over by you. You have a very gentle spirit. You've got but it's like there's a great deal of power within it. You have a beautiful directness. Keep that. Don't lose it. And because of that, they really like you. You're a little bit old-fashioned as well, and they love that as well. So it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, this sounds so wonderful. I wish I could talk to you later about this. Do you see my phone number?
I'll be back next week. I'm sorry?
Okay. I don't want to miss the opportunity, though.
You won't.
Wow.
You won't. This is the thing, is that you can't, because you made, it's funny, before the show, if the show might go into a second break, which I'm not sure if it will or not, we're going to wait and see what happens. But what I meant to say is that before we came onto the planet, we made agreements with specific other souls to meet up at certain times. So this individual that you will be working with, you made an agreement that the two of you would support each other in this work environment for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So this is a choice that you two made. So you can't miss, there's no way you can. People always say, I'm afraid I missed my love. You won't. You can't, because that's just how it works.
Wonderful. Well, I think that you really kind of make me look deep inside my soul, and that sounds wonderful, because I've been through a lot. I won't take your time discussing it, but it's been the worst year of my life, and to have a good job would get me back on an even keel, and I know I have the integrity, and I'm smart enough to do it. It's just that somebody needs to have patience with me in case I need to ask the same question a few times, and then I'll be independent and contribute.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that when you're in the right environment, you will find that your work is a lot quicker and easier. I think you've been working in the wrong industry, that's all. You're going to end up meeting and working with individuals who are more human than the ones that you've met before. And that's going to lift your life up, right? It's going to make you happy.
You have an eloquent way of speaking, and I think you really are reading my soul. And because I am very caring, but I'm a very smart lady, and sometimes people misread me, and they don't respect me because I am so kind, and that's when they discover that I can be very direct and to the point, and let them know my message would be, if you don't have any respect for me, I don't have any time for you. But I'm very forgiving and very patient and kind.
Yeah, and respect comes when you respect yourself. You don't have to ask for it from anyone else. You won't have to ask for it from anyone else. It actually occurs naturally. So that's the thing.
What are the key words that I should be putting in my resume that would attract the right job? I'll do what you said, but what are the key words?
All you do is talk about your skill, your abilities, that's all. And, your ability to work with people. That's it. So take away all the combativeness. Take away all the parts of you that are that want to struggle with and fight with. Let go of the past as you're in this, and as you do that, things will improve.
Yeah, my resume is very good. There's no combativeness in it. It's very inviting, and it presents my skills in a very professional manner. It shows my ability to de-escalate issues and make it my responsibility to embrace company policies and procedures, and to treat each client like gold, so to speak. And
those are the things you have in your resume?
Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe that's a bit too much information. Talking about treating people like gold and all that stuff means you're a pushover. That's what they will read
Okay.
from that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you just state the facts, put the facts in, and that's it. Don't go into when you write your cover letter, then you can say, I'm very direct, I'm to the point, I tell it like it is, I am very good at learning, I'm willing to listen. That's very
Right.
direct, to the point, clear. Don't go into treating people like gold, because again, if you do that, then they're gonna be, is what kind of person is she gonna come in? Is she gonna be too sweet and nice? And I don't think I can handle that sort of thing. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm
Mhm.
gonna suggest that you sit for a moment and write your resume to yourself, as if you're selling. You're the one who's gonna offer yourself the job. Write your resume to
Mhm.
yourself, and when you've done that, then you will be clear as to how to put it together for a potential employer. And again, the other thing you need to recognize is for everyone out there, when you go and work, it doesn't matter who you're working with. Um, Consider yourself as your own CEO. You are your own corporation, and your boss is your client. Okay? And if you can
Oh,
consider that,
interesting.
yes, doesn't that change the dynamics of things? It just shifts it.
But yes,
So then you're
and
only responsible for you, and then there's no reliance on your boss to carry you or to make you feel better or anything like that. You're responsible for that. And when you do that, it's amazing, because you find that you are more work colleagues than, a boss who's carrying you, or a boss that you have to bow to and such. So that's the shift that is necessary. Okay?
well, that sounds great. And maybe I'll put in the words. I have a can-do attitude. I will take care of business. Things like
Not
that. So
so take out the I will. You say I take care of business. Take out the will.
okay, all right. And
I
do I
take
know
care
this?
of
Will I
business is very
recognize this
direct.
person? Do I know? Do I know this
Beg
person?
your, beg your pardon?
It sounds like we have an agreement prior to coming into this lifetime with this
That's
other
it.
person. But
Thank you. There is someone who actually did a thing about a job interview where they say when you go into the job interview, you interview the boss. It's not just them interviewing you, so you're not bowing and scraping. It's
right,
you interviewing them, because you're going into their home, their company. So that's exactly right. So consider it like that. And everyone who's listening, if you're struggling to find a job and so on, take that direction and go in and look at it that way, and you'll be amazed. So I'm going to run off
okay,
now, my darling, and just go back over your resume, take out can do, take out all those things, make it very clear, very clean, very clean. None of this eagerness, just this is what I am. I take care of business. I'm the person you want, and so on. And all that, when you do that, you'll get about 3 callbacks from different companies.
okay. That sounds like great
Okay.
advice.
Awesome.
Well, thank
You
you.
take care, sweetie. My pleasure, and
Thank you
all the
very.
very best. And I'm not going to wish you good luck, because you already have it. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, sweetie. I'm going to go and put a little bit of a break music on, and you take care.
I
Bye.
will. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. And I think this is the break music.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
And we're back, and thank you so much. I love our conversations. So I'm with psychic.biz, as I said before, my first home away from home, and we have some special rates going on right now. If you enter summer 16, the number 16, you'll gain $5 free towards your reading. If you use the word coffee, like the drink, they will add 15 minutes, I believe, or you add 15 minutes and you'll get $10. And yeah, so I'm on psychic.biz. I am on the phone line. You can always come in and check me out. I don't go on often enough. I'm also writing, so I'm going to try and set up my schedule so that I'll be on the Psychic Biz website more often. But I am there for phone calls, so give me a call and we can chat. So yeah, the readers on Psychic.biz are pretty amazing. Asen Knight is one of my favorite people. Love that man completely. There are Love Rain. There are quite a few. There are shamans. There are astrologers. There are tarot readers, individuals who will guide you through your journey. And as I said about myself, I'm an emotional healer. So I use my intuitive ability to help you sort through the quagmire that's around you so you can see your way clear to go towards your future. And I see into your past, I see your present, and I see your future. Your past, in this part of the show, your past actually creates the present that you're living. So whatever you're dealing with right now came through the influence of your past experiences. And your thoughts today, and which was wonderful with the previous caller, is that when you change your mind in this moment about how you see yourself, change your mind about just about everything, what happens is it changes your future. It literally shifts your future. So she was searching for a job and not getting callbacks because the past was influencing that. Now she's changed her mind. And the future, and I wouldn't be surprised if she has a few phone calls in the next little while, but the future will be shifting quite beautifully so that she will have more than, you're going to have several job offers come in, which I think is quite wonderful. So, yeah, on with the show. We were talking, and I guess that's a good thing to talk about, the whole idea of what happens when we end up, going through our journey. And I'm going to turn this off because it keeps making this funny sound. Pardon me there. I'll just get rid of that. And Skype is doing its thing. Okay. So okay, so get me back on track here. We're moving into the summer. Actually, today is the summer, and yesterday with the summer solstice, we in Canada, Eastern Canada, we had an incredible storm. They actually told us we might have had tornadoes, which got downgraded, but we had incredible storm. And something that I know, this is a really wonderful remedy. Um, every time if I'm in a home and the energy gets stagnant and there's been negativity all around the place, I get 6 stones and I form a 6-sided star in different points through the house, exactly the same distance from each other throughout the house. And every time I do that, a storm would come up through the night. And what I do is I open all the windows so that the breeze would blow through. And so whenever you have a storm come up, especially if you've been dealing with a challenging situation, and that's a big thing. If you've been dealing with something challenging, the storm will come up and it will actually blow away all the negativity. Right now with the summer solstice and with the moon being full and all these things, this is a beautiful, beautiful time for you to decide to let go, to shed. I love that, to shed the past. And I remember many years ago, while I was hanging out in Sedona, I met a gentleman who I'd known him before, and when I saw him this particular time, he had a huge issue on his leg. His leg had erupted and everything. And it was because he was holding on to an old relationship. The doctors used cortisone to try and heal him, and it didn't work. And so, I said to him, I think I can fix your leg. And he looked at me and he gave a little smile. He is a shaman. Gave a little smile. And all I could see was scales peeling off his leg because he had created a great crust and all the scales peeling off. And I did the work with him. And of course his leg healed up, but it healed up with the scales peeling off. And it's the same thing. We have hammered onto ourselves the scales of negativity, depression, fear, pain, abandonment. All those things we've hammered onto ourselves to this moment. And when we get to this moment, it's necessary for us to slowly start to peel away all those fears. So if you fear being respected by others, what I'm going to suggest you do is to start respecting, figure out for yourself, what does respect for you mean? And then you're going to treat yourself that way. So the mind chatter is a big thing. The mind talk. When you find yourself having these negative mind talk, you're being disrespectful to yourself. And the people around you cannot help but reflect that back to you. So be aware when you're having that mind chatter, when you're talking to yourself in a negative way, when you're telling yourself all these things that are not very positive, that are beating you to a pulp. And I used to say that I do workshop, inner child healing workshops, where I'd have all the people sitting around and I'd give them the paper and they had to describe themselves. And many of them would describe themselves as not being very nice and, using negative terms. Like one thing that we'd say is I'd lose my head if it weren't screwed on. That's a negative term because your inner self hears it. Your inner self is still a child. Don't forget. And every time you say something negative to her or him, that individual, that beautiful being, gets diminished. It's like you're stepping on them. Squish. Every time you say something negative, every time you deny yourself, and by that, I don't mean all the negative stuff for denial, but deny yourself by saying, oh, I would love an ice cream today, but I can't do it because maybe my thighs are not, Go and have the ice cream. You're telling yourself that your body isn't good enough to have ice cream. Let go of that. Because when you do things through joy, it actually does not affect your body. Did you know that? So that's a little bit of an aside. If you're on a diet and you're trying to lose weight, and you try really hard and you're not losing weight, it's because you're telling yourself you're not good enough. So when you start, if you get yourself off the diet, number one, and start celebrating everything you eat, number two, you're going to find that you lose weight. All my friends come to my house. I cook with butter and cream and all that stuff. And they come to my house and they hang out. And when they go home, they've all lost weight. And they lost weight because there's a lot of joy and happiness and laughter in the preparation of the food. It becomes a meditation, right? So it's about talking nicely to yourself. It's about telling yourself some positive things. It's about being pleasant to yourself. It's about smiling at yourself. There's a yoga called laughing yoga, which people seem to like. And I think that's it. It's about finding joy. If you find yourself sad, find a sad movie to watch. Watch a sad movie and cry your eyes out. And then go watch a comedy. You're going to find yourself falling into hysteria. It's okay if you're hysterical. It's your own home. It's your space. Who cares? If someone's with you, tell them to cover their ears if they have an issue. This is where you need to start taking the space, taking your space in your life. And again, back to the job thing, when you go for a job and it's funny, I would, when I was younger, before I started this lone path on my own, I would go for a job interview and I'd always get it. And whether I wanted the job or not, I'd always get it because I'd walk into the place as if I'd already gotten the job, And so it's necessary for you to start taking ownership of your life, start taking ownership of the space you're standing in. When you do that, wow, everything falls into place. Everything comes to you effortlessly. And then you start worrying, oh my gosh, it's so too good to be true. What if it breaks? But who cares? You survived the last break, you'll be fine for the next one. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to take the time and to just recognize yourself, to know who you are, to connect with who you are. Now, let me see if I can pull my card here. I'm not sure what I did with it. So, the Chariot. The Chariot is a beautiful card. It's from the Rider-Waite deck. The Chariot is a card that's in pretty much most of the traditional, whether it's the Thoth deck or the Rider-Waite deck. And it's, depending on who it is, it's a person on a chariot with the chariot's being pulled either by two lions, two cats, but the chariot is being pulled and the rider has no reins. They have no way of controlling the animals. You know that if you're in a chariot, you have to hold on to the reins of the horses to tell them which direction to go. But the charioteer, you're in this chariot, you're the charioteer, you have no reins to physically control the direction of your life. So you have to have confidence in your ability to transmit the information telepathically to the animals that are taking you to where you need to go. Isn't that just wonderful? Wow. Can you imagine? So the Chariot is about trust. It's about trusting in the power that is around you, trusting in your own power, your own ability. As long as you walk with purpose, no one and nothing can actually be against you. And I know that for a fact because I lived in New York City when I was younger. Would go home at 3 a.m. And it never occurred to me that I would be in danger. It never once occurred to me. And until one day someone said to me, I'd been doing this for years. I'd go to school. I worked in high school. I'd go to work. I work at Burger King. And that was my very first job. Worked at Burger King, and then I'd get home from Burger King. They'd put me off at 3 a.m. I'd get to the subway, got on the subway, got home, walked a block and a half home. And it never occurred to me that I would be in danger. Not once. And when someone asked me, aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid that you will, that you're going to be in danger? That's when I stopped and I did a quick, never occurred to me. But then I focused on myself as I was going home. I checked in to see if I had any fear. Didn't have any. Maybe I was foolish, but I was never in danger. But I heard my footsteps. My footsteps were made with purpose. I heard myself walk with purpose. It wasn't tiny shuffling steps. It was step, 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 step. I walked fast because I wanted to get home and get to my bed, but each step was not made with fear. Each step was made with confidence. As you traverse your life, as you walk through your life, whatever you do, make sure that you step with confidence. I'm going to give you a little test that you can do for yourself. When you get, in the week sometime, you choose whenever you want to do it, get yourself a tomato. Whether you like tomato or not, it doesn't matter. Everyone says tomatoes are hard to cut with a regular knife, if the knife is sharp enough. So I'm going to suggest to you that you practice cutting that tomato with a knife. Not a serrated knife, just a regular kitchen knife. And if you start to cut and you find the tomato starting to squish, it means that you haven't figured out how to walk with purpose. I'm going to ask you to practice that. Practice, practice, practice. I mean, you could turn it into salsa if each time you don't cut it right. But try cutting a tomato with a regular knife until you can actually slice. When you have that confidence, the knife is going to slice through the skin of the tomato and go all the way through without crushing it. Now, when that happens, that's how you know that you're starting to gain your confidence, and you're actually going to feel it within yourself. And you keep doing that because that's going to help build your confidence. Just keep slicing that tomato. And when you do that, you're going to find that your life is just beautiful, spectacular, powerful, powerful, powerful beyond measure, because you are pure power. You would not be here if you were not powerful. And there was something in the human condition that stopped us from owning our power, because if we owned our power, then we would evolve too quickly, and we needed to experience this human journey. So now you're done experiencing. Now you're ready to fly. Time to fly. Time to go and have all the goodness you want. So as you keep attempting to slice your tomato, I'm going to suggest that you also write a list. I need you to write a grocery list to the universe. I'm going to wind up the show. Thank you so very much for joining me. I've talked quite a bit. I was going to try and do some other stuff, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it. But I'm going to thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining me. We're going to be going on to the Google Hangouts and YouTube now. I don't know the link to that. But if you go onto the website, you'll see the link to the Google thing, and you can ask more questions over there. Or check with Asen's website. He's great at that sort of stuff. I'm still learning. So I am Sonia Nadina Haynes. Many people call me Oracle, and that's because I sit still and allow the information to come to me so that I can guide it to you. I'm just a conduit, the socket that you plug the lamp in. I'm not useless. I'm just still, just being in this place as a conduit to guide your information to you. Until next week, I am looking forward to connecting with you again. And again, if you want to have more readings on psychic.biz, Summer 16 gives you $5. If you spend $15 and you put in coffee, I believe you'll get another 10, I think. I still don't understand it, but we'll get there. But drop by, talk to one of the guides there, and see what can happen to help guide you towards your truth and towards the most magnificent future that you want. Until next time, have a fantastic, amazing week.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
You're listening to The Magic Happens Radio Network, sponsored by The Magic Happens magazine. You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com.